Hi, Kylie here. For those of you who are new, I'm a former combat medic for the U.S. Army, and this is Just Another Army Vet, which is all about military and defense. I have another channel called Just Another Army Vet 2.0, which is all about India. Today, I'm continuing my reaction series to dangertV's New Zealand basic training series called Intake. This is episode 3. Let's get to it. Ooh, cold.
With some of the most diverse weather conditions in New Zealand, Waihuru military camp is living up to its reputation with an overnight fall of snow. The recruits are now 8 weeks into their basic training, and it's still not officially winter yet.
Typically normal. I mean, everyone thinks of Waihuru as a cold hellhole, and as you can see, it is. The biggest thing that affects us is in training is things like slip hazards and whatnot. So we spend quite an amount of time teaching them to be cautious in the cold weather. Just making sure that they're rugged up properly. It's all about how to survive and fight and do their job in inclement weather. About 80% of them are blossoms, and they shrivel up and die when the weather turns to poos.
Blossoms. It's always funny. It's whenever they have the drill sergeant or the cadre up on camera talking in any of these basic training videos and it's cold out, they're never wearing any winter clothing. They never have anything on. You'll see the same thing with the U.S. Coast Guard's video of a female company commander smoking the hell out of her recruits, and it's like freezing out and she's not wearing any winter clothes. I'm not sure why they're braving the cold like this. Are they trying to be tough, or are they just not that cold sensitive? Anyway, just a funny observation.
But we teach them to soldier on. There's no choice, really. The way we train is all terrain, day or night, and all weather.
A couple more days of this, and then as it starts thawing out, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. Just shit, sludge, wet. That's what they signed up for. Oh, I signed up for a challenge, new things. Oh, here it is, team. Welcome.
I like that, Corporal.
Some of them hate it already and just don't want to go back outside. You see some people can't even open their zips or use their fingers. It's good actually being able to apply the knowledge that we learn in the classroom, especially the layering systems. Some of us got it right, some of us forgot our kit.
When he's talking about the layering system, I'm assuming he's talking about the winter clothing. I don't know what the equivalent clothing items are for the New Zealand military, but it's going to be very similar to what the U.S. Army has. We have our ninjas, which are the long underwear, our polypro, which are the waffles, and then we have our jacket. So you kind of have to make sure you wear the layers correctly. That way you can conserve the most body heat.
They know who they are.
Now halfway through their training, the recruits have learned the theory of being a soldier. But they still have to master the skills of how to fight and stay alive in a war situation.
Keep your knee on the ground, pretty much where it is. Fucking rifle on the shoulder, left hand down, and just put the right foot out. Everyone get it? We'll see. Up! Let's see some aggression, man. Push through the pain. Don't get up. Keep pushing through. What do you want to do to the enemy? Dash! Down! Pull!
Gentlemen, warfare is personal between you and the enemy. Train as you fight, do not fight as you train. You need to start digging deep within yourselves now, men. We're at the next level. Does everyone understand?
Yes,
Train as you fight, exactly.
Interaction, positions.
The enemy does not care if you live or you will die. You will kill the enemy. What will you do? Kill the enemy! What do you all do? Kill the enemy! What are you trying to do? Kill the enemy! What are you trying to do? Kill the enemy! Assault! Assault! Covering!
We call that a 3 to 5 second rush.
It's a dream come true for 19-year-old Widimu Tuimata.
Prepare to assault!
I'm up, I'm moving, I'm
As a
down.
boy, he grew up hearing stories about his great uncles in the Second World War with the Maori Battalion.
I thought that was awesome to hear that there was an actual battalion full of Māoris fighting in the war. And
Māori?
I thought,
What is that?
why not give it a go? Why not come join Ngāti Tumatonga, working together as one and as one nation, Aotearoa, since
Or is it Mori? Is that a tribe or?
The enemy doesn't care if you're tired. Push through the pain. Crawl.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, it doesn't matter if you're pink or purple, if you're Barney or if you're Winnie the Pooh, something like that. So long as you guys are, you know, together as one, you know, fighting left to right of each other, you know, he's got your back, the other bro's got yours, and you've got both of theirs. You know, just fighting together, sleep together, live together, die together, you know.
Well said.
Let me tell you something. It gets personal, eh? It gets personal, all right? It's going to be against you and the threat, all right? We train you for the worst case scenario. Doesn't matter what weather it is, doesn't matter what terrain it is, we still push through. You've started something now. You've got to find that will to fight from within. No one else can give that for you, all right? We're not in an environment where we're sitting around in semicircle plastic chairs, holding hands and expressing our feelings, all right? In warfare, it gets personal, all right? You need to push through yourselves, because if you can push through yourselves, I guarantee you will motivate others. Back to barracks.
So I agree with everything that Corporal is saying to his platoon, and I do like the way that he's talking to them. He doesn't have to yell to get his point across. And the U.S. Army basic training, and same thing with probably the Marines, Coast Guard, etc. They're going to have similar moments. The drill instructors and company commanders, they're not going to be screaming their heads off 24/7. It's not like Full Metal Jacket. Yes, there'll be a lot of yelling, but there will be some moments where the company commander or drill sergeant is just going to be kind of sitting around and just talking simply to the recruits and trying to give them some good information. So that is something that we all have in common.
As the exercises increase in intensity, the recruits in turn become more prone to injuries.
Okay, fight through it, all right? Fight through.
There's also pride at stake. No one wants to be seen as injured, as they'll be put on light duties, known as LDs, and in worst cases, may have to leave their platoon.
Same with the U.S. military. You'd be on a physical profile.
Being sent home or back squadded to repeat their training is a real fear. Many, like recruit Hay, will play down any injury until they're found out.
No, I just woke up, so I woke up and I got out of bed funny. It was just that simple movement, and then yeah, and now I'm just like, it'll be fine. I pretty much just have to do this to look, but yeah. I'm still hard though, it's just sore.
Most recruits try to hide their injuries, but you can sort of see it when they think we're not looking, and as they walk around, they start to limp. We sort of pick up on these things. So whilst I do believe in the mindset of training rather than opt out, it's quite sad to see them leave. However, it needs to happen not only for our welfare or their benefit, but also just to maintain the momentum of the platoon.
It's more annoying than anything, you know what I mean? I don't need to be on LDs or anything like that. There's no way I'm going to be part of that crew. I am where I am. To be honest, it's hurting my pride.
Not much escapes the eagle eye of the instructors.
I'm assuming those are PTs. Is it normal to be out at wintertime in summer PTs with shorts and t-shirts? Or does the New Zealand military not have a winter PT uniform? Can someone clarify that, please?
And despite trying to reassure everyone she is fine, Hay is marked down as unfit and told to join the others on light duties. With no clue as to when she'll be able to rejoin basic training, this is a serious and worrying setback.
It's a pretty cool PT uniform though. I mean, I like it.
Halfway through their basic training, all recruits have to take the CFT, the Land Combined Fitness Test. Here they have to pass the exhausting tasks they would need in battle.
I already can barely stand like now with all the weight on. Imagine trying to get up.
While the injured have to sit it out, recruit Serena Hay is now fit enough to take part. And with her family already in the military, she has a lot to prove.
What is on their back exactly? What is in there?
My brother, he was in the last intake last year, and he actually topped the course last year. Keeping that one quiet too, just because, you know, want to kind of see if I can do it myself too, get my own way through. So yeah, it would have just been nice to make it all the way through quiet, but apparently my army brat's attitude shows, apparently. So I've been trying to blend in. I don't really know how to do that because I thought I was. So, but yeah.
First in the CFT test is a jerry can lift, testing upper body strength to move equipment or people up onto vehicles or ledges. There's no allowance for gender or body size, with all recruits having to pass if they want to graduate.
I don't think I'm going to pass. I'm not very good at strength stuff, mainly like cardio.
To achieve a pass, you must complete 15 times 10 metre shuttles in 5 seconds or less per repetition.
For recruit Lennox Winnietunner, it's a day of reckoning, as she hopes to prove herself to her family.
I am the oldest sibling of 6. It wasn't a very stable home for a bit. My dad passed away when I was 14 from a brain aneurysm, and my mum went to prison just after, so when I was about 6 years old, I went to go live with Nan. So I pretty much was raised on like old school Māori values. When my Nan was 14, she had my dad, and she raised all her siblings, and she raised all her kids, and then she raised my cousins, and then she raised us, and she's done it all by herself. And it's something that I aspire to do. Like, I don't want to go back to her asking for help again, kind of thing. And I want to leave and know that she had done a good job raising me so that I could be the adult that she wants me to be, kind of thing.
Recruits also have to carry jerry cans to simulate the moving of an injured comrade on a stretcher.
15, 16,
After a tough journey to get onto basic training, recruit Priya Clark has been suffering from pain, and it appears to be troubling her again.
go, carry on.
For me, being Indian and joining the army was probably like a little bit different to what normal Indians do, I guess. And being like a female especially, I think it was a little bit of a shock at first, especially my grandparents. I wasn't sure what they were going to say, so I didn't say anything, but they were all really supportive and they would laugh at me, call me a hard out.
So in the United States, we call our native people American Indians or Native Americans for the most part. New Zealand, is it normal to call a native person Indian, or are there different names that are acceptable to use? Please drop that in the comments. I would appreciate it.
Still injured and after failing to carry the jerry cans, Clark now has a difficult decision to make.
It's up to you if you want to carry on now or join in with another group and try again. So it's up to you.
I'll do that, Corporal.
Carry on.
Clark and her platoon have one final test left for their battlefield endurance, a run in full combat gear.
Achieve a pass, you must complete 4 kilometre circuit in under 32 minutes. Weapons, double hand weapon carriage. Stand by, go!
Having to run in kit weighing 23 kilos can be an extra disadvantage for some recruits.
There's one standard for all.
50 pounds?
The body type doesn't matter. Women tend to struggle a lot more on this one.
Wow.
And men find it easier. So if you get a 100 kilo man, he's carrying 20 kilos, that's 20% of his body weight. You get a 50 kilo girl, she's carrying 40% of her body weight.
So in the last episode at the range, I thought they were just kind of wearing the LBVs, the load-bearing vests, but now I'm thinking maybe they were actually wearing like plate carriers with the LBV over it, because 50 pounds, I mean, that is pretty heavy, and you're not going to just get that from an LBV. So what are they actually wearing on them right now and also at the range? Is there a difference?
Recruit Rua Brock is first in at 23 minutes.
Nice, hey. That's good.
Despite being previously injured, Hay pushes herself to the limit and is the first woman to finish.
Almost bombed. They've got 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes to get in, they can do it.
26:43.
The other recruits are cutting it fine, and for Sophie Early, she finishes in time, but is taken down with an asthma attack.
On the grass, on the grill.
Hands on your head, squeeze it in.
Keep walking.
In the nose, out the mouth.
Keep walking. Also.
Recruit Rowe has just come off LDs with leg injuries, but having to run in full kit is causing her problems. Meanwhile, Recruit Runga has just 20 seconds to make it, and her platoon have run back to give her support.
Last 10, pump it, pump it.
But it's not enough.
32:30, so it's 30 seconds out. Nothing much I can do about it now. I'm glad it's over. Because it sucked.
Feeling the pain of her injury, Recruit Clark now has to pull out of the race. Being unable to finish the CFT doesn't look good for her future.
She's starting to feel like she's losing the battle and getting left behind a little bit.
Like, personally, it's not looking really good at the moment, so I don't know what's going to happen.
There's been a few comments from staff saying that she may have to consider whether she's going to continue or not.
The following day, Recruit Clark is put on light duties, along with fellow roommate Ella Northey. They've been sent for MRI tests to check the severity of their injuries.
A little bit nervous because we're getting our MRI results back today.
I mean, if it's bad, then we could get back squatted into the next intake, which is quite scary.
Try not to think about going home, just trying to think positive, because I know for me, if I start thinking the negative stuff, and that will bring me down, so I'm just trying to stay as positive as I can.
While Clark and Northey wait to hear their results. Back in the barracks, the recruits have made a grave error with their rifles.
Pick your rifles up. Ready up. Yeah. I will not leave my rifle unattended.
I will not leave my rifle unattended. I will not leave my rifle unattended.
If they leave their rifles, there has to be someone obviously watching them at all times. In this case, I walked in the room, there was 8 rifles and no one in there. So it's, yeah, they've left their rifles unattended. So we deal with that.
This is week 8. They should know better than that. Yeah, they deserve it.
Once we get out in the field, that's your weapon. That's what keeps you alive at the end of the day. That's what fights the battle. And if you lose it or can't find it, you're absolutely useless.
I will not leave my rifle unattended. I will not leave my rifle unattended.
You motherfuckers.
Who wasn't
No blame, no blame.
It was not good. It sucks. It's like his favourite thrashing for us. It burns.
What I wanted to do was all of us take our rifles, but they were like, no, we'll just leave it here.
Thrashing. We call it a smoke session. Getting smoked.
Hopefully they learn from that. I did.
The 64,000 hectare Waiouru military camp with its varying terrain is perfect to create authentic war exercises. Today the instructors are laying out markers for the recruits in case they lose their way during tonight's intelligence gathering exercise.
So they'll get parked up out there, at the end there, and then it's their job to get as close as they can undetected.
The better the scenario, the better they embrace it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I can tell you on my one, it was pretty dumb. We just walked out to the hill, they were like, okay, crawl up to here in the middle of the night, and then we went home. There was no real, you know, like, we didn't have that sort of excitement, you know what I mean?
We just want to create a scenario that probably stimulates them a bit more in regards to, you know, not only knowing that, oh, it's a nice thought, but actually having a purpose behind it. For example, like gathering intel rather than just going out there just to be ninjas.
At what point is he allowed to unroll his sleeves? Because this is the beginning of winter and his sleeves are still rolled.
I'll be on the other side. I like training recruits. So this job requires ridiculous amount of hours. I'm here posted unaccompanied, so I've just got myself to worry about. And I don't mind it because you see them go from nothing to something, and that's always a good thing. Especially when you march out, you know, and they're on their number ones. You know, mum and dad are clapping and crying and all that good stuff. And to an extent, you can actually claim the benefit of, you know, I trained that person and it'll be someone to be proud of.
Back at the barracks, The recruits are doing a refresher class on some of the skills they have learned this week.
We are testing our hand signal skills right now. It's kind of like Chinese whispers. Like one person starts one end, there's a whole sequence of hand signals, and we pass them on.
Did you already just said then? I got this.
We learn hand signals also.
And then I got this.
I think it's speeded up.
Speeding up, eh?
Apparently, well, like faster.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The fuck was that? Sweet. Hand signals are definitive, okay? Sweet. Halt. Scout group. Come to section commander. Okay? Nice and simple, definitive, clear signals. Yeah, this means hurry up, okay? Yeah, this is hurry up. Not whatever the fuck Coombs King started doing.
But for one recruit, these lessons could be coming to an end. Recruit Clark has just got the results from her MRI scan, and there is a possibility she may have to leave her platoon.
Alright, the boss has just called and you guys have an LDF lesson to catch up on. So form up in the driveway, do that now.
While the recruits think they're off to another classroom lesson, in reality they're being set up for a surprise mission. And to keep Clark's spirits up, she has a major part to play.
So today we're going for a night stalk and I'm getting kidnapped. It's a hard day because obviously I had some bad news today, but being able to do this and it's kind of fun, and I get to watch everybody else's reaction as well. So.
Aww.
Hurry up, platoon. Step it up, train lady. By the left. Quick march. Left. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left.
As the recruits march to their class, they're held up by masked gunmen. Recruit Clark is then kidnapped.
Oh, this is so fun. We never did anything like this. Not at all.
So we've got 8 minutes to get our cam on. 2 people just came out of the truck and I just couldn't believe it. It was so scary.
I've just had a call from the platoon commander. He's given me some intel. I'm going to drop you out in the location that I think they've taken Recruit Clark to. Your key task to gain as much intel as you can, trying to suss out the enemy that took our mate. Make sure that you're not seen. Make sure that you're also not captured by the enemy.
The enemy and Clark's kidnappers are in fact Sergeant Pennyha and Corporal Dowdall.
So, just like the last episode, we have a chunk of time where there's no audio for some reason, and again, it's not on me, it's on the original video. But I will say this, that we've never did anything this cool at basic training. Never did any intel collecting or stalking or any of this stuff. This looks so much fun. Anyway, if you are enjoying the video, then please smash that like button. And I'm going to end up probably editing some of this out, that way it doesn't get too boring. But I will say this, one thing you can do to help me out is to watch this whole video. That helps me out a ton, so thank you.
Thanks for coming to save me, guys.
From a head count, it appears 2 recruits are missing, and no one has any idea where they are.
Come on, sheep. Come back to the shepherd. Let's go. I'm cold.
I don't know, there's people out there and we've got glow sticks on us, and if we got lost, we had to crack them open and wave, and then our bosses will come get us. Yeah, it's called the glow stick of shame, and they're real far away. We think it's Kiriona and Wanitana.
You two are good? Yes, sir. Where's the other one? Alright. If I rented you? Yeah, fell in the river. The river's quite deep, mate. Pete, how deep did you go? So you almost drowned that deep.
I didn't touch the floor, he grabbed me.
Oh.
Before I even went under.
Good work. Taking second.
They're 2 months into their training and they're interacting with the corporal very informally. In the U.S. military, you're not going to see a lot of that. If it was U.S. Army, you'd be at parade rest with a battle buddy. But sometimes you get kind of these laid-back moments, but it's just not that often.
She almost drowned, but it's a good thing I'm a lifeguard.
I went under and I screamed, and then he grabbed me, so I was like, nah, let's go back. It's all a learning curve.
My boots are pretty good here. Like sprayed them with some heaps of resistance, and I just like walked over the water.
Oh, there's sticks and shit in my room. Oh, I loved it. It was so scary, but it was great to put all the practice into play. Like everything that we learned in these last 7 weeks.
I just went woof, straight in the stream. Like, I don't know if you can see, but it come up to here. And I was like, just panicked for a little bit. Yes, so like this is definitely soldiering.
Does that look right? No, it doesn't look right.
Does it look right to you?
I don't know. Never been there.
Oh, no, yeah, that's pretty swollen, yeah,
Should be right.
The following day after the night exercises, the officers are having their weekly meeting. Here the recruits' medical reports are discussed.
Yeah, 2 of the MRIs got their results back. At the moment, all I've heard is that it's bad news.
Unfortunately for recruits Clark and Northey, their injuries are so severe they'll have to go into rehab. And if that doesn't work, they'll be forced to leave the army.
It is hard, like, hearing them carry on with their lessons and everything, and knowing that I'm in here packing my bag because I have to go. It does suck a lot. Because, well, I know I've wanted this for a while. It's really sad leaving all the girls and everybody. If it's what has to be done, then I guess it has to be done.
It's hard.
Coming up next week.
Punch up on the right, let's go! Get the fuck out of here! Chris, you cover me, hey!
And there goes the volume again. Will all the new intakes of recruits actually get to train in the winter months, or are there other classes that are starting at different times of year? Can someone clarify that in the comments? I really appreciate it. So I had my basic training in the horrible heat and humidity of Fort Jackson, South Carolina during the summer months. It was a miserable time to be training. However, I would take that heat and humidity any day than that horrible cold that these new recruits are going through right now. Don't get me wrong, there are some basic training sites that do get that kind of weather. I just kind of lucked out being at Fort Jackson in the summer. Regardless, it is good training though, because you do need to know how to fight in all climates, even the ones that just make you absolutely miserable. Train as you fight is so important. Once episode 4 is filmed, I'm going to put it right here. Until then, you'll find another good video. If you made it this far into the video, then you're awesome. You're actually helping the channel out a ton, so thank you. Today's comment keyword is cowboy kittens. Please drop that in the comments. Thanks for watching.